Hey everyone, welcome to Botland Recap number 34. I used to preface these videos by saying, don't look at the interface too much, that's going to change. In this video, the interface is the only thing I want you to look at. I'm still not totally done, there's some polish and mobile prep to do, but I'll show you a comparison from about a month ago to today. You're looking at the old login page. Nothing is really styled, and if you click these buttons, it brings you to similarly unstyled pages. The new page shows everything in this nice box. There's flavor text at the top, the inputs are styled to look sort of like command prompts with these arrows on the left side, and if you click to a different page, it is similarly styled. Logging in brings you to the landing page. There's a lot going on here, so I'll bounce between the different pages so that we can compare step by step. Let's start with the header. There was a bug report button, your salvage packs, bot coin, and on the right side, store settings and logout. On the new page, we have all of the purchase related information in one section, and then the settings over on the right side. Moving down the page, we have the avatar on a white background with the edit button. This hasn't changed too much. There's still the avatar with the edit button, but of course there's the circuit board background that you've seen on the login page. The battle log had a lot of information. It shows you when you update your defense, it shows bot coin earnings, it shows rating changes and replays. In the old style, you had to select these entries in order to see any actions that might be associated with them, and we can see that the style itself is relatively bland. In the new version, anything that you need to perform or see is visible by default without needing to select, and avatars are a bit larger to add some personality here so that you can tell who attacked you. The news tab, bland style, that was updated to look kind of like the battle log. And the missions tab, we again had this black and white style here, and the need to select in order to abandon a mission. In the new missions tab, you can see everything right up front, and the abandon button is right on the side here. This I'll probably change to make a little bit clearer what it's doing. A couple of other elements on this page. There was some debug information over here on the old style that was just completely removed, and then the edit, defense, and attack buttons were on the bottom. Those are still present on the bottom, but they look a lot nicer. This is the page where you edit your avatar. I'll just cover what I think are the most important elements, not color changes or that the header got updated. The avatar itself now stands on a podium in the new version. Instead of having these randomized color buttons, which I never intended to keep, we have proper color pickers, where you can see swatches of colors here and choose what you like best. These also update the colors in the inventory, as opposed to over here, where they would remain whatever your original colors were. Items are now much more visible in the inventory. Here you can see many different items, but the icons are pretty small. Here you can see fewer items, but the icons are larger, so you can pick what you like easier. Dragging items now drags an image of the item, instead of before, where we would drag this entire element in HTML. Finally, there is a way to filter items over here. I could type something like WASP and just quickly customize the entire WASP set. This is the arena view that shows as you edit your defense. One nice change is that chips are easier to find and use. In the old version, they were on the bottom, and closing this section might have been confusing. You either had to click the X to get back to your bots or to click chips, and you may not even realize that this overrode where your bots were showing. In the new version, this is much clearer. There's simply a selector on top. You can choose chips, and if you're looking for your bots again, click bots. Placement details are much clearer in the new version. In the old one, you could see how many bots you could place up here and how many chips you had remaining down here. And clicking clear all would clear all of those things, bots and chips. In the new version, all of this information is in the footer, how many bots and chips you have placed, and you had individual clear buttons. Getting information about something is much more consistent. If I click a bot, I have this dialog that shows up in the old version that I could move around, and if I were to click a chip, there's a different dialog that shows up. In the new version, everything is in this context bar at the bottom. I can see any details about a bot, I can click it and see what a particular piece of hardware does. The last thing that I wanted to point out here is that there's a nice convenience feature. I have two blueprints, and this might not be obvious here, but these look exactly the same, and I gave them the same name as well. So how do I tell which bot came from which blueprint? Well, now when I click one, you'll see that it gets indicated over on the left side so that I can quickly tell, and this feature actually always worked, but if I click it on the left side over here, it will highlight that bot in the arena to show which bots are of that blueprint. This is the blueprint editor. There's not too much to point out here despite a lot of work going into this page, so I'll just click through it to show you. In the old version, this is how you edit the appearance of your bot. I've got different items over here. In the new version, we can do that same thing. I'll just click over there. Like I said, not too much to call out. You've already seen this inventory. In the old version, we would edit hardware on the right side, and I'll click one of these so you can see the description. Same thing over here. I'll click this. The description is now at the bottom. And despite that the old version had a filter here, I never actually coded this. Now it is working, but I showed you that on the avatar page. The only other part I wanted to show you here is that previously there was just an input to edit your name. Now this shows up directly on the podium. Finally, here's the store page. Like the blueprint page that I just showed you, it was mostly styling that got updated here. So I'll just click through the different tabs. We have hardware and the preview that shows over here, cosmetic items that you can buy, and chips. And in the new version, we have hardware and the preview of the item over here, cosmetic items, and chips. And one of the things you see is that we have this price tag on the upper right of each tile instead of just showing the price in text. And that's it for this video. I hope you like the new look. I'm still doing everything I can to prepare for the beta launch. One such thing that I've done is that I'm trying to keep Botland online more frequently. So if you go to play.bot.land right now, you'll probably find that the game is online. Please don't spread it too publicly yet. These last bits of work that I have are crucial for new players forming an impression. Just consider what the game looked like a month ago. Someone may look at that and be turned off by the game. So I'd like to take more time to fix everything up. Thanks for watching.